Hello, everyone. Today we're going to be talking about something called Powers of Jammer Authority. Uh, it's a phrase that I just came up with, but I mean it fits my topic pretty well, okay? Basically, we're going to be talking about the news crew and Jambassadors, and how it's so cool to be one of those. I hope you all enjoy.
All right, let's first talk about the news crew. The news crew was introduced all the way back in 2012, which is 11 years ago now, which that's a pretty long time ago, okay? Anyway, the news crew was introduced then, and what you basically had to do was you had to look at the Daily Explorer. The Daily Explorer is Animal Jam's blog. It was honestly very common for MMOs to have some sort of blog to tell you news about the MMO. For example, another MMO I played, Cart Kingdom, had a blog as well, but that's a tangent. Anyway, the Daily Explorer had different contests, one of which was the news crew, and basically the whole idea was you pick a random topic, and these topics could be actually random. It could be something like tell how a new jammer how to trade, or all about tarantulas. It is, I don't know if those are actual examples, but it could just be random topics that they just assign, and it's not like you could predict them or anything. It's also not really newsy either. It's not like it's current events or anything. But anyway, the news crew, basically what you had to do was you had to go to Jammer Central, you had to type up your news crew article into Jammer Central. You couldn't like submit a Word document or something. And then they had this little button where you could press a single picture and add it. And this eventually got discontinued in 2018, which is pretty sad because I personally always wanted to be a news crew winner, and I'm not able to anymore. And why do I want to be a news crew winner? Well, I'll just tell you. The personal reason why I wanted to be on the news crew myself is because they came with two things when you won. One is a plaque. The plaque is either gold for the old ones, and eventually they changed in 2016 to now be a diamond one. So you win a plaque and you win a camera icon, a news crew icon you could put on your name tag. And remember that this was introduced in 2012. That was 11 years before Play Wild introduced custom name tag badges. So that's pretty interesting to think about in the first place. So they've been thinking about something like that for a long time now. Anyway, these things were absolute status symbols. When you saw someone with them, uh, even if they're not your buddy, they could still be shown on the player card in Jamont Township, which is absolutely crazy because uh, A, you either think that they're your buddy already, or B, you notice them right away. So it was a status symbol to just have that, and I wanted it so badly. And the funny thing is many of these, not many, a few of these news crew winners actually did become Jambassadors. And I mean, who knows, maybe that little camera icon on the bottom is one thing that helped them become that. Two examples of which are Snowy Claw and Spirits Jama, which is in-game wintry. So speaking of Jambassadors, let's talk about the Jambassador Plaque. So basically, the Jambassadors and the Jambassador program is Animal Jam's representatives for social media sites. Originally it was just YouTube, now it's Instagram, and I heard Animal Jam's getting popular on TikTok, so it might be there eventually as well. Who knows? But basically, the Jambassador program got introduced all the way back in 2016, and 2016 seems like the year where a lot of changes to the plaques happened for some reason. I mean, the news crew turned diamond as well as like the introduction of other plaques, but we're talking about the Jambassador one right now. So the Jambassador plaque and the Jambassador program uh, were originally given to people that were invited to go to VidCon in 2016. I don't think there was a special VidCon live stream series yet. That happened later in 2017 and 2018, and those were amazing, by the way. I absolutely loved watching the 2018 one. I wasn't around for the 2017 one. But basically, if you were famous enough and had enough subscribers on YouTube, you were invited to become a Jambassador. And I mean, it's still available now. The requirements definitely went down as well. Originally, it was way above 100,000 subscribers you needed to get the Jambassador plaque, which is a whole lot. Like, that's even a lot for just YouTube standards. That's what you need to get a silver play button. And also, you get the videographer plaque. You could still get it technically for getting 100,000 subscribers right now as well. But the videographer plaque on Play Wild, for example, was given for film festival winners. But we're not talking about that right now. We're talking about the Jambassadors. So the requirements to become a Jambassador have definitely lowered over the years. Starting out in 2016, it was 100,000 subscribers you needed to become a Jambassador. And why was this so high, you ask? Well, it's because Animal Jam in general on YouTube was way more popular back then with people like Apari and Julian too. Uh, they got hundreds of thousands of subscribers. And those days in 2015 to 2017 aren't today anymore. So they lowered the requirements down from 100,000 to 10,000, and now from 10,000 to 2,000. And I believe Instagram's also possible to be used now for uh, possibility to become a Jambassador. Becoming a Jambassador is the ultimate Animal Jam status symbol. What happens is, even if you're not known by anybody, once you become a Jambassador, you become known by everybody. I wouldn't say it's that much compared to 2016 YouTube Jambassadors, but it still makes you more popular than if you were without anything. So it helps both the game uh, by having these Jambassadors uh, basically advertise for Animal Jam, and in return, it also helps the creators grow even more because more people know about them. So it's a trade off that they have to go through. And one thing that is so popular about the Jambassador program, or was, they don't do it anymore. Maybe they'll bring it back one day. Was of course going to VidCon. Jambassadors were able to go to VidCon and be there for the duration of the event, and uh, it was a very fun event, as I probably mentioned earlier in this video, and I believe you can find videos about it on YouTube somewhere of Jambassadors going to VidCon, doing the live streams. They went to Disney World, I think, after VidCon was over because they're in California. All these different things. One thing both the news crew and Jambassador program both gave to players that got inducted into either was popularity and fame. And I mean, this happens in the real world too. If you get famous with something, you'll be known by more people, and that in turn makes you more famous in a way. Uh, just kind of weird thing to think about if you think about it. Well, I mean, another thing that made people very happy about getting in either of these programs was obviously rare items. I mean, you can't go playing Animal Jam without wanting those rares. Am I right? One thing I might think would be cool would be introducing the news crew back in some way for Play Wild because it never existed for Play Wild. And one thing that would be pretty cool with that would be, having a custom badge on Play Wild as well. Because, I mean, they had it on PC 11 years before they introduced it on Play Wild, custom badges, which is kind of crazy to think about. And I never really thought about that either. It's just very interesting. How would you feel about having the news crew reintroduced? Hope you all enjoyed and maybe even learned something new. Have you ever wanted to be in the news crew or be a Jambassador? If you have, or any stories, anything, just put them in the comments. And if you like my content, then why not subscribe? And with that, this is Brad Stormer, storming out.